104.1 KRBE.
Let's go. Good morning.
The Roula and Ryan Show.
With Eric. It's about to get all stupid up in here.
Hey, sleepyhead.
Featuring Special K.
Nobody asked you, Kevin.
And Sam.
You've waited long enough. How the heck do you pronounce this woman's name?
Roula.
Macaroni cheese hot dog.
Ryan. I am the worst DJ ever. With Eric.
We're the champions of the world!
104.1 KRBE.
Good
Morning. It's Wednesday. Yay. March 26th of 2025, and it's 6:01 a.m. with the gang. Roula, Ryan, Eric, Special K, and Sam.
You know, every time you say the day of the week, it reminds me, I don't know, like when I was young, like a kid growing up, I always remember those Houston Chronicle commercials. It's Wednesday,
Oh, yeah, I
Houston.
remember that too, when I was driving to
blah, blah,
school.
blah, blah, blah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and this is how
Like
I
on
tell
the
you
radio,
radio.
or-
Yes,
Yeah,
radio
no, on the
routine
radio.
works. Radio routine works. I remember there was a Houston Chronicle commercial. They must have bought it across the city on every station, and it was a lady's voice, and she'd say, "It's Wednesday, Houston," and I guess I don't remember what she said after that, Ryan, like the three headlines or something.
Yeah.
She would just say like the day of the week, and then she'd say something at the Houston Chronicle, and I knew that if we heard that when we were at the feeder road of the freeway, or we were already
we're
past
running late.
we're running late.
I'm curious, people listening right now, like, do you guys like when we do things the same time every day or
Do you want
during
us
the
to
week?
shake it up, maybe?
Like
I
the
don't think
rapid
we
fire
will shake it
quiz
up.
is
I'm
on
just-
Wednesdays at 8. Do you want us to move it to?
If they've ever heard it at 6, I don't know.
Is it part of your routine, part of your ritual?
Like, obviously, roasts, we can't move that.
yeah.
We tried, and there was a riot.
Because some teacher got mad at us. Like, you
All
should not be
teachers.
playing this. No, remember that first?
Oh, originally, yes. Somebody told us it was
This is
too
too
young of an
adult.
audience at 7, so we tried to move it to 8, and then the other teachers rioted and said, "What are you talking about? I have to be in class by 8."
Yes, we had to move it back. I'm just curious because I know some shows out there they don't believe in. They're called benchmarks. Things like Scoop, Roula does,
We do it every day.
like Closure,
Same time.
things like that.
Roses, Revenge, all those things.
But a lot of times, it's like if I was watching a TV station and they started moving a show I liked, like Grey's Anatomy, all of a sudden they put it on Mondays, Tuesdays. They move it around too much.
Yeah.
Like that's what they did back in the day when Frasier was like gone after like Seinfeld. And then they go, oh, it's really doing great. Let's put it on Tuesday so it's the strong one.
Pair it up with a weaker show. Maybe that'll be a good lead-in for that weaker
And then it did
show.
all right, but not as good as it did Thursday. And then all of a sudden they're like, well, maybe you'll do better on Wednesday. And then it just gets moved around. You lose track of it.
I don't think people like that kind of change, though.
Well, that's
I
what we're
mean,
asking. 37530. If
I'm
you
just curious.
6 o'clockers.
I know it's early.
Some people who are listening right now, they might only get 30 minutes of us. They might get 20 minutes of us, maybe 40 minutes of us. And there's just a very small percentage that gets the whole show, all the hours.
But then there's people like I know religious like when I read text, but like this person just for making a point. Everyone's different. This person just says, you all need to stop the crime connection stories. There's enough bad around, and who cares?
Oh, I was writing back to them.
Yeah, but we say who cares? Like those videos last week got over 500,000 views.
That's what I'm telling them.
So I mean, if
It's one of the most sought after genres and has mass appeal.
that's what's tough.
Biggest interaction on social media. So, yeah, probably not, but thanks
Yeah.
for the suggestion.
Yeah, I mean,
Thanks. You're going to lose.
stuff like that's tough. Yeah.
I mean, we read it all.
Do you go with 500,000 people
Yeah.
that watched it, or one person?
Right, because the one person, we don't know what
That we do
number
want
you're
some-
representing.
You want to take everybody's feelings into
It's the hardest.
consideration.
The hardest part about doing radio, I think, it's trying to.
Somebody said, no, keep everything the same.
That's what we do. I mean, we're not thinking about changing anything. I'm just curious because I see some shows that they don't believe in doing benchmarks at all. They just
that's their problem.
Everyone else does them, so when they zig, we're going to zag.
Everybody else is successful. We're going to try to be unsuccessful.
Yeah. Look, it says, I know what time it is and if I'm running late by what segment you're on. Love you guys. It's just like that Houston Chronicle thing. It's Wednesday, Houston.
Yeah.
Or it's, whatever. Okay, I have something that I
It's
bought at the
different,
rodeo
like-
I have to show you guys in the 6 because, or maybe I did in the scoop next because it's an epic waste of money, but it was the kind of money waste that I knew I was going to waste it, but I took the hit for this room.
Now, when you did it, when you made this purchase, you knew it was a bad decision right when you made it?
I thought about it for a hot minute, and then I thought, do I really want to spend $40 on this? I was with Eric's wife at the rodeo.
A lot of money.
$40 is not small.
Nope.
Because I could have bought like at least a beer and a half.
No, but I mean, if you think about it, if you lost $40
I'd be
at the
mad.
beginning of the day,
I'd
it
be
would
so
ruin
mad.
your day. You'd
I'd be
be like
mad.
thinking about it all day.
Okay, and then in the scoop next, I'm going to show you what I got.
Okay.
And it's for this room. Or maybe the other room. You might hide it over there. I don't know. But
it's
it
not
was
a plant.
bought at the rodeo. Because there were a lot of different vendors at the rodeo. And I forgot to bring it in on Monday and Tuesday.
You know, Ryan did those stats yesterday about like 2.7 million people were there. I'd like to know like 4,300 people bought mattresses. the people
Like
bought
a
spot.
week?
I'd like to know like how many people bought things.
Oh,
there
those kind of things.
when you're
At the rodeo. Yes, that's a good point.
they have all those mattresses in there, and I'm like,
Yeah, we
Man.
always say, who the heck bought the mattress in the hot tub? Because somebody did.
and those mattresses, where do they take them?
Well, they have them delivered to your house.
I don't want those mattresses.
Oh, you mean
people
the
are
ones
laying
that
on
people
them.
were
Oh,
laying
those are
on?
the display
those are
mattresses.
display
They're not gonna.
mattresses.
Yeah, they're not gonna.
Are you
They
sure
might
about
sell them
that?
for bottom dollar
There's like-
somewhere. You never know.
Just
There's
clean
two
them up.
companies in there, and there's like 50 or 20
Yeah.
beds each.
Yeah.
If you had 25,000 people laying in that bed, I don't
Ew.
think you'd want to buy it.
Yeah, but you don't know that.
Yeah.
You find it on Facebook Marketplace a couple
Right.
weeks later.
That's
You
what I'm
don't
saying.
know
How
how
do
to
you
go
know?
late on it. My son was, there was a place we were shopping in there right next to one of the mattress places inside Energy Center. My son laid down on the bed because he was so bored. And he goes, Mommy, I found a phone. I go, what? He found somebody's phone fell out of their pocket when they laid down on the
my.
bed.
Free phones?
And it was underneath, like, they have that piece of fabric where the feet go.
No, yeah, the
So everyone's shoes don't go on the mattress. It was under there. And I was like, did you tell somebody, buddy? He's like, yeah, I gave it to that man.
That's funny.
So somebody's like freaking out. Where's my phone?
can see
Because
him
you
saying
laid down
that.
on a bed at Energy
with
Center.
his high pitched voice.
Mommy, I found a phone. So funny. I don't know. It's an interesting point because we have asked the question, who has bought the hot tub and who has bought the mattress? And we have gotten the text back, yes, we bought the mattress, we were drunk.
I should have asked the
Or
guy.
yes, we got the hot tub, we were drunk. But I'd love to know the number,
I should have asked the guy too. Like,
what the sales are.
hey, do you take these? What do you do with these mattresses afterwards?
Well, maybe somebody listening right now, Eric, works at one of those companies and they know. If you work at that mattress company that displayed at the rodeo, we're in the Tree of Trust. You can text us. We'll keep it a secret. We don't know who you are. Tell us what happens to those
Spill the
display
beans.
mattresses.
I would call it a rodeo special. Say you saw it at the rodeo. You might have laid on it. Here's the sale, $400 off.
You know what? Not one
think
time
it's
this
good.
year
People
did I
buy
walk
it.
up the side where the big boot was. You can go to the purple lot and walk up that way. I didn't walk up that way not one time this rodeo season. So I don't know if Mattress Firm had a spot there. Do they have a mattress spot there? Anybody
I
walk up
remember
that way?
seeing a mattress
Okay,
spot.
yeah. They usually have a mattress spot there near that big boot. There's always one inside Energy Center.
I think did I see one over there by like the radio stations, like KSBJ and stuff. I thought I saw one by there.
Well, the boot is right by where
Yeah,
where the boot is?
the country station
yeah.
is.
Yeah, I saw
So
that
there
then.
was one there.
There's even
Okay.
like a Wrangler, just like signs, like those beer signs back in the day.
The neon?
Like, neon stuff. It's really cool looking. They just had them up there to take photos with. Lots of beds.
Lots of things to buy. Lots of money to be made. Somebody just texted us what their friend bought with the eye roll emoji. Let me.
People said they do.
Oh my
they do sell
God,
the display
hilarious.
mattresses.
Oh, they do.
They,
Yeah,
they do lower the
100%.
price. So I figured they had to lower
I
the
mean,
price.
how would you clean something like that?
Somebody sent us a picture of the person laying down that giant massage bed that probably costs like $6,000.
You bought it. Yeah, there's like
and
20
this
of them lined
person
up.
says, "My friend bought this eye roll emoji."
Now, if I bought that, look at this, Ryan.
All right, let me come
Come on,
around.
Sam,
I
you see
gotta
the
get up
photo?
and
You
walk
see
to
the
the other side of the
Yeah,
studio.
that's
You
right
guys
here.
would laugh
It's
at
right
me.
here. It's right here.
Sam would
I'm
be,
actually surprised you don't have one, Eric.
no.
Yeah, this is something you would buy, Eric, and then
Yeah.
ditch after a month, saying it's too
Absolutely.
big in your
I wouldn't
house.
mind
Yeah,
that.
that is
Surprised
huge.
They don't have.
It's too
I'm
big.
surprised they don't have that in a movie theater.
It looks like something you'd
I'd fall
turn,
asleep.
turn into a robot. Like take your
Yeah.
legs up, push you up, and walk.
They have those at
I
Planet
bet
Fitness with the black card.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So you could
yeah,
either do
yeah.
that
I mean,
or
it's an upgraded membership.
I
So.
mean, you just like swipe the black card and then it
Yeah,
starts
basically, yeah.
vibrating?
You're like, hey, I'm gonna go back and get a massage chair. Okay, black card member, go right ahead.
That's funny.
Wow.
Shouldn't it be a purple card?
I was thinking the same thing because it's Purple Planet Fitness, but someone must have dropped the ball
Right?
on that one.
Since you've got the in there, Kevin, do they have trainers that you
They
can?
do.
Okay,
That's another part of the black card perks is the trainer that you can have.
because I've
Percentage off?
come to that conclusion. I'm getting a
It's free.
trainer.
Yeah, it's free.
It's good.
Okay, listen to the
I
answers.
need somebody to crack the whip. I mean, I'm
He'll hold you accountable
No,
and
yeah.
make sure you're doing it right.
Make sure you're doing it right.
You could be out there doing it, but you got the wrong posture.
Oh,
the
yeah.
wrong.
I learned
And
that.
you gotta listen, if
I
you
was
listen
doing
with one
everything
ear,
wrong.
you just think that Ryan asked Kevin to be his personal trainer.
Yep.
Oh, God, no.
They'll charge you $80 an hour.
Okay, listen to this texter. Years ago, we bought a display set of Stearns and Foster mattresses. We got them home, got them cleaned. We didn't sleep on them for a week to make sure they were dry, and it lasted us forever. Another person said, my brother-in-law bought the mattress and the massage chair at the rodeo. The family loves the chair.
That's crazy.
That's a grown up. That's an adult thing. I remember going to college and having because I drove a pickup back then and having my mattress in the back, in the bed, and it's a rainstorm. I'm driving from Katy all the way to Nacogdoches, and it's pouring the whole way. And like the first, I think
You had
month.
nothing to cover it?
Yeah, no.
No tarp?
In the first month, I was like, man, this bed is damp. It had to be so unhealthy for me. But, when you're 19 years old, you don't really think about that stuff.
Imagine if you go back in time to the 80s or 90s, laying in your bed that you had as a kid. You'd be so miserable.
I had a
those
twin.
beds are
Hard.
Those beds are crap.
Yeah.
I had a twin bed till I was 18. Like,
I had
the
a twin
single-
bed.
I did
I can
too.
beat you on that. I had a twin bed till I moved into my sister's room when I was 21, maybe
wow.
22.
That would suck.
Twin
By the way,
bed.
people are texting. They love what we're doing, like keeping it the way it is, uniform. And, it's called benchmarky, but
There's one of our 6 o'clockers that
Routine.
listens
Keep
to the
the
whole
routine.
show. You see that? I listen to the whole show. I work from home. I listen to my earbuds. Don't change anything.
and we won't.
We will change nothing, but you will find out what the heck I
We
bought at the
hear, we
rodeo next.
obey.
Here's your official weather for today.
All right. It does look like it's going to be cloudy, or yesterday was gorgeous, but it's going to be a little more cloudy today. Still, we're going to be getting into the 80s more than likely. Right now, 68 degrees and 611.
Your daily scoop. Celebrity Scoop.
KRBE's Roula and Ryan show with Eric.
It's brought to you by Taqueria Randas. All right, so the rodeo is gone, and maybe some people are like, oh, I'm kind of sad. Others are like, oh, thank
Withdrawals.
God, I'm exhausted. For those that volunteered there every single day, they were like, there was a meme I saw on Saturday that says, first 2 weeks of the rodeo, and it was like Disneyland when you're like,
Yeah.
yay! And it says last 2 days of the rodeo, you're all beat up on the side of the road. Like, you're like, oh man, 2 more
I'm
days
just
until
glad
it's over.
That traffic, because my daughter's practice is near, for lacrosse is near 610 Emery Weiner area. And then from Greenway, you have to take 610 around. And that's, around the time when everyone's going to the rodeo.
Yes, oh my
concerts.
God,
And
so crazy.
I'm like, oh, thank God. So what a difference. Like
Between,
Monday,
like,
I was like,
4 and 6.
I got to leave at 6:40. I'm like, wait a minute. I could leave at 6:50 and I'd make it around.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I went to the rodeo on Saturday. We talked about this a little bit on Monday, how Saturday was an unplanned last rodeo day. Eric was there with his wife and kids, but then he left before I got there with my kids.
That's a
So-
corn dog incident.
The corn dog
The corn
incident
dog
of
incident.
2025. Yep. The corn dog
You
incident
sure
of
the corn dog
2025.
is what went through you?
Yes, 100%. It was the
I
corn
had
dog.
to. I ate a corn dog and had a Mr. Pibb, and then 20 minutes later, I felt like throwing up. And then I was like,
I always thought
and then I
that
went to the
food
restroom,
poisoning-
and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do this all day. I'm
I
out.
told him about the secret bathrooms, and he was like, no, I need to have my own space. So he left
Oh.
in an Uber. Okay, so because of that, his wife and I ended up having an epic, unplanned, hilarious, awesome, fun rodeo day. And while our girls were at the carnival, we went inside NRG Center to just check out the scene. I had not really looked at all the vendors. I'd seen some vendors, but not all of them. I hadn't made the whole way around. And they've got things from like rodeo wear to, regular shoes and boots, mattresses. We talked about that. All kinds of furniture, rugs, signs for your lake house, your beach house, your ranch house, whatever it is. And then we came up upon this one art vendor. It was an art vendor. Like, she had lots of framed, fun pictures.
Okay.
And they were the kinds of pictures like, that Andy Warhol look of the Campbell soup cans?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
she had done that with like Topo Chico or Lone Star Beer, things like that.
Classic.
And then she had taken
Texas things?
Yeah, it was Texas. It's called it's where Texas art and the West meet. That's her art. And she had taken like iconic signs that you see, like the Bucky sign. Just the Bucky sign with the sun behind it. Like, she framed that. Like, things like that. Just things that like Whataburger and old school Houston things. And then she had this random framed sketch. And I was like, I don't know how many people get a kick out of this, because I was a child of repeats. Growing up, the shows that I watched, if they
Reruns.
weren't brand new, they were repeats. And I didn't know they were repeats. Right? Like, they were just old shows that were repeating because there's nothing else to watch. We didn't have streaming television. We just had like Fox 26 after school and it was like back-to-back sitcoms of old sitcoms. And one of them was called Three's Company. And if you know, you know.
Yeah,
Three's
love that.
Company, if you know, you know. It was about 2 girls and a guy who lived together in an apartment. And back in the day, I guess you weren't allowed to live with a man that
It
you're
was
not married to.
taboo.
oh, no.
So they had to act like he was gay so that there was no hanky-panky funny business going on. So it was okay because he's gay. Now, think about that message. It's okay because he's gay. And when did that show start? Like 70s or 80s?
It started in 1977, ran through 1984, and then it spun off into Three's a Crowd.
Okay, so the original cast of the apartment complex, the landlord had to approve the gay man living with the 2 girls, and they were very it was politically incorrect all the way. the way the landlords treated this supposed gay man.
Oh, even back
Jack
then.
Tripper.
Yeah,
Mr.
Mr.
Roper.
Roper, and then his replacement, Mr. Furley. When I was just like,
Mr. Furley was so cool.
Mr. Furley was the best.
yeah. So I'm standing there with Eric's wife, and I go, "Oh my God, look at this! This is so dumb." But why did I think that if I put this in the studio, I'm gonna put it right next to Ryan, and he'll
Okay.
laugh all the time.
Let's
It
see.
is a sketch of the most stupid thing ever, and Sam's not even gonna know who it is.
Oh my God! You wasted.
Oh my god.
$40. That's Don Knotts.
And it looks like it's half done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
It's like
not even
empty,
any
But that's
background.
her art. Her art is the top half is empty, and she only fills the bottom.
That's called half-ass art.
Well,
Let me see that.
That's. I'm gonna
put
start
that-
doing art like that.
Sam's like, why would you spend money on that?
Yeah, I thought mine
That's a
spending
funny
money yesterday was
sketch.
a lot.
Yeah, I kind of wish it was the one where he would joke about,
think I
like,
could
make
do
a
that.
joke. And then, anyway, I thought he'd go right there. Just put it right there.
I
on
think
that little
Ryan, you should put
windowsill.
that in your bathroom.
Just right there. It's going to go right
I just
there.
spent all this money
Yeah.
remodeling this
Put it
home.
above your fireplace.
Because it makes no sense, and that's why it's hilarious. It
Well, it's
makes no
abstract.
sense, and that's why it's
It doesn't
funny.
even look like him. If you
It
show,
does look like him.
Up close it does. Now, have
100% that looks like him.
Have you ever seen this? There's a movie called Serial Mom. Like, Mom's
With,
a Killer with Kathleen Turner.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And
And
they're
Ricky
at-
Lake, right?
Yeah, and they're at a school function, and there's a framed picture of Don Knotts, and it's the funniest thing because the high school kid goes, "That's Don effing Knotts." It's just so arbitrary. It's so weird.
That's what you got right there. Because
Oh, I love it. I think it's hilarious.
As I said, this would be funny to live in the studio because only like if you know, you know. Otherwise, like I'm sure Audrey Rose would come in here. She'd be like, "Who the hell's that guy?"
I've got a lot
Noel
of frames.
be like,
you want me to
"Who's
bring a
that?"
frame in for it?
Yeah.
it was it's Ryan's grandpa.
Oh, that could be the ongoing gag.
That could be the gag.
That way they try and make fun of it. And then
It's the anniversary of the passing of my grandfather.
But I think Kevin Quinn would know who that is.
Oh, Kevin Quinn for sure
we'll
would
know who that
is.
is.
Oh yeah.
So even if Audrey Rose or Noel don't know who it is, or like a mod will come in here, he will have no idea who that is.
Oh,
the ones
Sam,
that
do
do
you know
who
who
it is.
Don Knotts is?
Nope.
Did you ever hear that show, Andy Griffith show, the black and white show?
just do that one movie
About
with
Mayberry.
Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, he's in Pleasantville.
Did you ever see Pleasantville with Reese Witherspoon and Tobey Maguire?
He was the TV
Okay.
repairman.
He didn't really do anything after that people would know.
That's when he was like, really
younger
old.
people
That
would
was
know.
like late '90s, I think.
Yeah, late 90s, Pleasantville. He's a
That
TV
was a good
repairman.
movie. Yeah,
Anyway, I
Legally
thought it was
Blonde.
dumb, but
I think it's funny. Thanks. That's
yeah.
hilarious.
Well, it was actually $48 for two things, so that was like what?
Take a photo of
$24.
it for Instagram.
And he's got the
I will.
He's got the shell necklace around his neck, like
Yeah.
Mr. Furley
I'm
did.
just so turned off by this empty space around.
But that's how the art looks.
That's why it annoys me.
Well, it's weird
I
because
just
it
like that.
seems incomplete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like not centered.
See, look
like,
how she doesn't
he's on
fill
the
out the
left-hand
whole
side.
space.
I feel like you need to add Jack Tripper behind him or something. Needs more
The San Diego Zoo or something like
Something,
that.
yeah.
You know?
It's not a whole picture.
his room.
Oh, and last summer when we were at that radio convention, I went to that zoo where they filmed the opening of Three's
San
Company.
Diego Zoo.
Come and knock on our door. We've been waiting for you.
That's when intros were like long and fun.
Yeah. Now it's just like, get to it.
Yeah.
Kids don't even know. that They had intros for shows.
Well, because people have
Fun
the attention
intros.
span of a goldfish.
Well, do you remember when Desperate Housewives came out and they had a really big, long intro of the
Yeah.
whole thing,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
all of a sudden they just chop it to like Desperate Housewives,
Yeah.
like the nameplate of just Desperate Housewives, and just get right to
Well,
it.
that was the beauty of Netflix when they debuted. They gave you the skip the theme option,
Skip intro.
and you just like get right to
When
it.
I was watching Younger, by the way, because of the skip intro option, I would only hear the first 3 seconds of whatever that song was. I can't even tell you the song, but I just know, "Da-da-da," and then I'd skip.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the song was. I was like, oh, there you go.
and you
Younger.
can skip the recap
that person's
too.
probably mad. It's like, I did all that work to make that song, and now
I know,
Nobody
but
knows
skip
it.
Yeah,
it.
but when
got
you're
paid.
binge watching it, I don't want to get a
waste my time.
recap. That's
And
like
White
Witcher.
Lotus is not even
Recap.
singing. It's like, ooh, 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 ooh,
Oh, really?
don't watch this week's episode.
Why?
well, come on.
I love White
I'm
Lotus.
still, I haven't started, but
Are you
TikTok's
scarred?
showing me. I'm scarred. I just saw a few scenes, and I just know what happened last week.
Oh, well, don't tell. No spoiler.
You're scarred. If you're scarred, there's no way I'm watching this show.
I think I even
White
saw people,
Lotus is
people are
slow.
like, here's me all day thinking about last night's episode, and it shows the person driving going, cooking, eating their dinner.
Oh, no. Off the air, you
Like-
got to tell me what it is.
Like,
Arnold Schwarzenegger's son.
is in this.
Yes, it's super hot.
And they weren't. It's funny. He wasn't really in his life because after
No.
his mom had that, his dad had.
Is this the?
Fair.
Is this the fair kid?
No, he
No,
just,
no, no. This
no,
is
he's a
Maria Shriver and
bodybuilder.
Arnold Schwarzenegger
Oh,
is one of
yeah.
their 4
Yeah.
kids.
But you
Is
think
this
about it,
Patrick?
Your dad.
Patrick,
Your dad cheats on your mom. You're not going to want to be around him. But now they're friends.
Okay, he looks nothing like him.
No.
Well, he's more on the Kennedy side.
Okay.
because his mother was a Kennedy.
Yes, he looks like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
his
maid's
mother-
kid looks more like Arnold.
It totally. You
Oh,
remember
yeah, for sure.
Meet the Parents, where they thought Ben Stiller had an affair with the maid,
Yeah.
like, or when he was a kid, and the
Yeah.
kid looks just like a Hispanic Ben Stiller.
Eyebrows.
Yeah, that's how Arnold's kid is.
Like, how old are you? Oh,
That's
18.
right around the time I lost my virginity.
That's really awkward. Okay, coming up next, I have to ask a question because there's a story about TSA PreCheck. Is it worth it? And how it actually does save you 7 whole minutes when you're
good.
traveling.
Sometimes
TSA
more.
PreCheck will save you 7 whole minutes on average. So yes, if you've not done TSA PreCheck, you've got to
Good.
do that.
Don't do it.
But I feel like since it's March, this is our
Leave us
public
alone.
service announcement.
Right.
If you are traveling June, July, August, and you are going out of the country, any country, I think things are changing, and I'm not sure what it is. Somebody needs to tell us. I got to look it up, like the visas and stuff.
Oh,
UK,
yes.
Europe. I don't know if
Yes.
Mexico now needs
Yeah.
something. I kind of need like a 101.
For Mexico, I think if you're staying more than 180 days, you need one.
Okay, but I'm kind of worried. Like
Not doing that.
if you're going from here, you're stopping over in London to get to France, or you're stopping over in the UK to get to Germany or
Right.
something.
You got
I
to go
don't-
through immigration there.
Yes.
And then for a lot of countries coming up, I believe in September, you're going to need a visa to go to some of these. I'm concerned. I'm going to Europe this summer, but I was reading that I don't need that visa yet.
Good
And
thing
if
is,
you're going to Australia, you need a visa.
good thing is 95% of our listeners aren't going to
No,
Europe.
most people
So
aren't.
they'll be fine.
How much does that cost?
that.
How long does it take to get a dang visa?
Well, don't you need a passport if you're going on a cruise?
Yes.
If you Yeah. wanna-
Yes.
So passport time,
Disembark.
you got to start thinking about this stuff, y'all.
Yeah.
It's almost too
That's
late
too late.
now. It's March 26th.
At least you got time if you do it like, next 2
You
weeks.
got to apply
can
for the
pay for that
passport. It could take up to 8
expedited.
weeks, maybe 10. You got to give it like 14.
Yeah.
It might get lost somewhere in Arizona. I don't know.
And there's something Kevin did and I did, different places.
It's so funny.
Something that I don't think I've never done this before, like in 10 years.
Okay.
And
Well,
y'all
I do
both
it.
did it on the same day.
I
Yeah,
do
but
it
it's-
fairly often.
This is something like only like you'd think like your grandparents would
Yeah,
do this.
it's
every
not
day.
behavior that is really something that people your age would normally engage in.
Mark the
No.
date. They're slowly morphing into their
Yeah,
granddads.
This is weird.
Yeah, they're skipping a generation. They're not morphing into their parents. They're morphing into their grandparents.
Right,
What did
exactly
we
right.
do that ended up being like our grandparents?
On the same day. You'll find out next on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
From the Bell Furniture, unbeatable prices traffic desk. 59 northbound at Fannin. Watch for a stalled car on the right.
KRBE. Turn it up. With more of the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
Okay, now you guys are texting us so much about the visa stuff that me and Kevin are scared.
Yes.
Oh,
because we
about
don't know what
traveling?
is happening with the travels. Like
Not the credit card.
No, visa travels for cruises
My
or
MasterCard's good.
Europe or wherever you're going in the summertime. Now is the time to think about that because you don't want to get to the airport after planning like some dream trip since December, thinking I've saved my money for 5 years to go to Europe for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
and you show up on June 16th at IAH and you're like, wait, what? I can't get on the plane because I need what? I need a visa.
And
Right.
someone was saying like on cruise ships you can still use birth certificates. I didn't know
I ain't
that.
trying to bring my birth certificate out to sea with me.
Exactly. I'm like, I think it's easier to get a passport than it is to get an official
Picture
birth
frame around
certificate.
it.
But the passport's so easy. Cruise ship because the person comes up to you. Now they just have a phone. They used to be like these big computers. They're just a little like kiosk, a little desk, or little like, desk like that, cocktail desk. Okay, where you go? Let me see your passport. And they blip, blip, boop, boop, and you're
Have we gotten to the point yet where a passport could just be on your phone?
Well,
No, that's too much
actually,
fraud, I
Paper
bet.
document. It's like a little booklet.
There's that one.
I use an
Global
app.
entry.
I do use an app for the passport, and it works usually at IAH. And you still have to have a regular passport, but you don't have to take it out. And basically, all you do is as soon as you land, you take a picture of yourself, answer some questions, and then use that scanny code.
which
when
helps
you
you
go
beat
through.
that line.
Wait, is that
Yes.
the Global Entry app?
It's not.
What's the other
no,
one?
it's
My
called
Passport?
MPC or something like that.
Okay.
Oh.
I actually don't want to tell anyone about this because I like that short line. No, I'll tell you.
Selfish.
Yeah, so it's called CBP MPC.
That's a lot of
CBP MPC. I know it
You down with
is.
CBP NBC. This person said, "Hey, I just came from Europe. You're going to need to apply for a visa. It gets approved within an hour. It's $13. I believe it's good for 2 years." So I said, "Where do you apply for that? Where do you apply for that visa?"
Yeah, that would be nice.
It'd be nice to know where do you apply for that
Yeah,
visa.
let's wait around 2 hours.
Because when I went to Australia, the one and only the first time I went to Australia, I was at IAH, and they were like, "Did you get your visa?" And I'm like, "I mean, I think I have it right. It's like a piece of paper right here. Is this fine?" Step aside. Step aside.
Uh-oh.
Then I actually did the 3 hour pre Like, I was there 3 hours before my flight, so I had time to, like, get that all sorted out, and I was traveling alone before I was married with kids. I cannot imagine as a family showing up to IAH, and you're trying to go to Germany for the first time. They're like, wait, we don't know.
Now, I'm not trying to be
Step aside.
clickbait Ryan, but did you see this part? I saw part of this headline yesterday was that United Air, a pilot was flying to Shanghai, China, and then he had to turn around because he didn't have his passport.
Yeah,
so
that
they're
was
about to
all over
land.
yesterday.
Is that real?
That's
saw
real.
that
I saw
story,
on
too.
many different
So it was real?
sources yesterday, yes.
I would be so
mad.
I would demand they fire that guy. Like, you're an
They
idiot.
got a
You just-
$15 food voucher.
That's all they got?
That's all
How
they
far
got.
into the flight were they before he turned back?
That's all I wasn't sure. They made it sound like they're like really close.
Is that Fred Flintstone's car?
I didn't hear the.
That's what I'm saying. Was it like 30 minutes? Was it an hour? Whatever it is, though, it sucks because
It was. I read it. It was at least an hour and a half into the flight.
I'd be
an hour
so
and 45
furious.
minutes.
Imagine
I'm
it was right to the end.
Oh,
No,
right.
They can't.
Oh,
they
there's
wouldn't
no
have enough
way.
fuel to get back.
You have to go somewhere. You have to go to Taiwan or something.
Well,
And then also, hopefully, his mate could go to the airport to drop it off.
Oh, yeah. Think
Because
about
what
that.
else? Like, what
He's
would he
gotta
have
go
to go
through
home?
security.
And then he gets back
To
and
get-
he's out of hours.
oh, yeah, and then they time out, so the whole new crew has to fly the plane.
They have to bring him in.
That happens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's a mess.
The crew times out.
Oh,
And you're like, oh, no.
So
There's
what
another
was it
crew.
that Eric and Kevin did yesterday that's like grandpa-ish behavior?
Kinda.
I didn't know. I told Roula when I went, and then when Kevin said,
Oh, like we're turning into two little old ladies, Booster and I.
yeah, tell everybody where you were.
We went to the Yale Street Diner for lunch, and we got the blue plate special for $7.50 per person, which was chicken Alfredo, a salad, and an iced tea, and a garlic bread. And we were so full. And $15 later, we had our whole lunch. And add tip to that, you can eat for two for less than $20
Oh, two little
at the
grandmas.
diner.
Trying to play mahjong and bridge
And
at the same time.
They still have the counter service and the cakes underneath the glass.
Ooh,
It's
yeah.
so cute there. I love that place. And there's an antique store inside of the diner.
I gotta go check this
Oh
out.
my gosh,
I
yeah.
love it.
Is it on 21st?
It is, I believe it's on
Yale
21st
Street
and
Grill
Yale.
and Gifts. It's called Yale Street Grill and Gifts.
Gifts, because they have little antique gifts
What's their
in
blue
there.
late
That's
special
cute.
today, I wonder, for Wednesday?
Right. Yeah, I hope it's chicken fried steak. That's
Liver and onions.
Oh, they probably have that one day.
Oh, yeah.
That is so
And then I went with our friend Cliff. Cliff and Lori, we talk about all the time.
Which we now know he's a constable.
Yep, he's a
Remember,
constable.
we're like, is he a deputy?
I've seen him
What is he?
twice now in a week because he was serving people in my area. So he came up to my place. We were hanging out, and then it's always weird to go to lunch with somebody in uniform. You get, they get a little more respect.
Yeah,
People
you would
like
think.
they seat us right away. They treat us. I'm like, wow, this is kind of cool. I guess if you got a gun on your side, it helps people to treat you with some
Move
respect.
aside.
So we went to Avalon Diner over off on Westheimer there by Lamar High School.
Oh, I remember that place.
Westheimer and Kirby.
Last time I was there was with you two when we were doing trying to raise money for something. We were,
But we were at the one on 910.
no, but I'm just saying the same. kind of
Oh,
place,
you went to that
yeah.
location and we were at the 910 one, maybe?
No, I was there with you. I'm just saying
you
the same
were.
time. Like, I've never been to that location ever. I didn't even know River Oaks had a
Okay, yeah,
diner
yeah.
like that. But
No,
it
I didn't
had
know
the
that.
counter, like you're saying,
Yeah,
and all
counter
that stuff. The
service.
old soda fountain thing and stuff, and a big juicy hamburger was like $8, $8.50.
God, I love
Nice.
diners
Yeah, man.
so much.
How can they afford?
Did you like that? Did your stomach settle okay
Yeah, it was
afterwards,
good. I had,
Mr. I'm scared of the toilet?
Had 3 little sliders, and thank God it wasn't that like that either.
It wasn't sliding back out.
Curly fries. And he had some
Sometimes it
big
looks
thing
like
of
that.
it looked like a hamburger with gravy on it and mashed potatoes with gravy. Was that a blue light special? It was like what do you call that?
Is that Salisbury steak?
It wasn't
Blue plate
Kind of looked
special,
like
yeah,
it, but it looked
right?
like a ground sirloin. Do they call that? Like it's like a ground.
Oh,
hamburger.
Salisbury steak, yes.
see,
It
that's
kind of like
something-
Salisbury, but it
Salisbury
wasn't. They didn't call it Salisbury, but
Could you do that in the middle of the day? And I'd get tired after that.
I took a nap after I went home.
Of course you did.
I mean, we're done for the day, so
Yeah.
we have to go back to
we're
work.
on a different schedule.
Right.
But if you're like
12:30.
working in an office from 9 to 5, and you go have a Salisbury steak with gravy and all this stuff at lunchtime, aren't you going to be falling asleep at your cubicle?
Ryan, how long have you lived in Houston? Every restaurant is full at 11.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but I definitely.
take the taxes.
Like, I couldn't do
I'd
it.
be
Like,
really
I'd be
tired, Ryan.
snoozy.
People are
Yeah.
getting T-bone steaks. They're getting those big old.
Or like Fajita Wednesday deals at all
Yeah.
the Tex-Mex places, and they're filling up on fajitas and refried beans or charro beans and all that, and they're like, "Oh, okay, let's go back to work." I'd be like, "Oh, well, I'm ready for laying down now."
those buffets, those
Button
Chinese
pants.
buffets.
Yeah, I just buffets overwhelm me, guys.
I
Buffets,
like
I can't.
I can't do
I
buffets.
like buffets.
I can't do a buffet.
My mom doesn't like
Overwhelming.
I
buffets.
don't
but-
trust myself and the people, little kids with their booger fingers. And
They're booger fingers.
I just started thinking about
Wait, on
that.
cruises, isn't it mostly buffets?
I stay away
How
from
do
the
you
buffets.
eat?
I don't eat the buffet.
On a cruise?
Yeah,
I thought it's all buffets.
They have
No.
those. I don't think I even touched the buffet once.
For the breakfast,
Hell
it's a
no.
big buffet.
Okay, snob.
Actually,
I know,
there's,
I'm a
there's
snob about
always on a cruise ship. There's always a buffet like upstairs
Yeah.
in the
there's
Windjammer
a-
Lounge. But you can always also go down to the main restaurant and get served.
And then they have side ones like the Emeralds, the one I had. They had Guy Fieri.
Just the pizza restaurant,
Yeah,
just for
pizza.
pizza in the back.
Oh, look at you guys knowing all your places
Oh yeah,
on the cruise ship.
we know where to pick up that next meal.
Yep.
By the way,
The Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
What's going down in H-Town?
104.1 KRBE.
last note on the travel thing. Thank you to the texter. Somebody said just go to the State Department's website. It will have all the information you need for wherever you're traveling, wherever, and what all the documentation you need. So the State Department's website.
That's
Thank
good
you very
to know.
much.
All right, Jersey Mike's is doing something really cool today. Today, 69 Houston area Jersey Mike's are going to donate 100% of their sales to Carry the Load, which is a day of giving where every single dollar in sales, not just profit, every single dollar in sales will go to a local charity. Now, Carry the Load is a nonprofit organization that provides active ways to honor the sacrifices of our nation's military. You know, our veterans, our first responders, their families. Each Memorial Day and Patriot Day, Carry the Load hosts events in Houston to recognize local service members. So if you go to a Jersey Mike's today, 69 of them, I would absolutely check, online, make sure that this is a store that's doing it. But they're going to donate every single
I love that
dollar.
They
in
do that a
sales.
lot around the country. I see like radio friends that do stuff with them, and that's awesome. Because nowadays nobody wants to.
It's a nationwide
They want to save
campaign.
their money. Not do that. They're going to lose a lot of money.
Yeah, but it's the 15th annual Day of Giving for Jersey Mike's.
Well,
So
they've done a
swing
good
by and
job
grab us up.
promoting that because that commercial with Danny DeVito, because he's their spokesman and the original creator of Jersey Mike's, Mike. He's like, oh, I read all my thank you cards, over 1 million of them. He's like, oh, we're going to do it again. He's like, okay, well, how about a text? I remember the commercial.
See, it works.
It worked for their Day of Giving. Good job, Jersey Mike's.
And Eric, you made a prediction, came true. Houston Astros will carry Cam Smith on their opening day roster.
That's awesome.
You called it. Smith was acquired by the Astros
A lot
in
of
the
people
trade.
did. It wasn't like I was.
I know.
Like he came out of nowhere. The guy deserved it. Earned
Yeah.
it. But there's a video out there that is so awesome. When
His mom.
his mom comes out,
whole family.
His whole family comes out to tell him he made the team in front of the whole team, and he's crying.
But they
crying.
don't tell him until after everyone's crying. I'm like, tell him he made the team.
Well, the coach Joe did go, hey, I've always wanted to do this. When I came to be a coach, I wanted to make a difference, and I wanted to, when somebody gets promoted, I wanted to do something special. So
Like, who do you call when you make the team? Who do you call when you You call your mom, you call your dad. I have some special people coming in here. And
Everybody's got that one person.
Even if you don't like sports,
they want them to be proud of them.
you watch it, I think you'll get tears in your eyes because everyone's gone through that. You try work your butt off. And he was crying again. They interviewed him in the dugout asking about, why this meant so much to you. He's like, my mom, it was just her and I, us two together, and we were, she'd take me to all these games when she was busy.
I mean,
Think about these
no
travel
joke,
games.
the club teams and the travel teams
It's
and,
expensive.
and the tournament weekends, and you're going from you have an 8:00 game in Texas City, and then if you win that one, that's good. But then the other team that lost, now you're not playing till 4:00, so you got to wait around there. And then at 4:00, if you win that one, then you're playing at 8, and then that game might get delayed because the game before you, so you're not really starting until 9. I mean, you've been doing this for 14 hours.
He's the 18th fastest to get into the major league.
Yeah, Cam
baseball.
only
18th.
played 32 minor league games.
Yeah, so right field.
If
I
you
don't know
get
what
a
they're going to call
chance-
that area now because it used to be, for King Tuck.
Oh, yeah.
They had the crowns.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
Yeah, they'll come up with something.
Cam
but
fan. No, I don't know.
if you get a chance,
Cam fam. Like
Google
Cam's family.
Cam Smith mom video. It'll come up, and it's just
And
like
7:40.
so sweet.
The VP of marketing will be here from the Astros because they got the big Texas Children's Open, Houston Open golf tournament this weekend, and the Astros are, Jim Crane brought that here, and also we'll talk about opening day. I
That's
wonder
gonna be awesome.
Maybe he can tell us. Maybe he'll tell us what is going to be in the train.
Oh,
About
yeah.
that.
Ice
Won't
cubes?
be oranges
What do we-
anymore.
Is it ice cubes or air conditioners? What do we think is going to be in the
A
train?
bunch of old air conditioners.
Could just be baseballs
The window
again.
units.
That would be so
A bunch of window
weird.
units all stacked up.
When it was Enron, it was just baseballs back there.
Let's see what the train's going to have. All right. It is Wednesday, which means Special K has a prank call or a telemarketer turnaround.
It's a
Robocall?
prank
What
call.
is it? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's having trouble getting that Ozempic. She don't need it for diabetes, but her sister said she's a skinny bitch. And she said, give her an alternative to Ozempic. I don't know what that means, but we're going to have some fun with it.
Okay. We're going to hear it next on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.